Hello and welcome to all you wonderful To Be Dicers. I'm your man with the plan, Daddy Tarzan. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Edge of the Empire. At this point, no longer a beholden adventure module, now a open galaxy campaign titled affectionately The Fallout. Why it's named that? You know, we got a lot of baggage to unpack here today. That being the repercussions, or not the repercussions, but the effects that take place immediately after the departure of a very essentially core-related character into the group that is Core Atlas, departing suddenly. That being said, we are 2B Dice Adventures. This adventure is presented by 2B Dice Adventures, and I am Daddy Tarzan, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Daddy Tarzan 82855. And with me today is the wonderful cast of Core Atlas, that being Chav and Rawl. Let's go ahead and get a little quick cast member introduction starting with Chav.
Hi, I'm Matt, also known as Warter9 on the internet. I have to stress, I'm Matt, and this is Oz over here. I know right now we kind of look a lot alike because I had a haircut, and we still kept the beard nice and trimmed, and but you just got to remember, this is Matt, and then the more handsome one is Oz. That's how that goes. Alrighty, so yes.
Listen. I'm gonna have to steal that trophy, give it right back to you because, God damn it, Matt, do you look great? And speaking of great, I am the Great Oz. I am known as Son of a Ghost on the interwebs. This is gonna be interesting. I've never completed a planet before in a campaign, so this is fun.
Yeah. We're flying into uncharted galaxies at this point. Several other notable cast members to make note of. Victor the Story Reaver plays Oho, who has temporarily departed our story, as well as Dia.Cosplay, who plays Dove, who I'll be filling in for, as they are unavailable today, unfortunately, as well as several other NPCs that I will be playing, obviously, as the game master. We also have Nerdy Pinup Girl, also known as Taylor, the person, playing Talma, a Deveronian bounty hunter. It started out on a rocky relationship with the Core Atlas crew, as they were originally commissioned by their ISB benefactor that blackmailed them into servitude within the Empire. Where we last left off, the Core Atlas crew had just made for the starport after completing everything that they needed to complete for the mission of the Jewel of Yavin. Everything looked like it was flying on cloud 9. There couldn't be a darkened cloud in the sky over these people, as everything that they hoped they could achieve was achieved. But that was quickly brought to a harsh reality when they made their way to depart Cloud City, when they encountered the entity known as the Lost Brother, adorned in the iconic armor that is the Inquisitors, albeit rough and neglected over the years of being disbanded by the Empire, essentially. In a desperate attempt to evade capture, Oho thrust himself into the line of danger, breaking the hold that was the Lost Brothers' grip onto the ship that is the Nothwind Chimera, using his newly discovered ability move, his force ability move, to push the ship out of the grasp of the lost brother and let them escape the immediate area that was about to be hailed by not only Vorstabrith's men, the remaining forces of Arn Shen's men, as well as the law enforcement body known as the Wingguard. If they didn't make this decision in this moment to leave, everybody would have been captured. Where the rest of this journey is projected to go is to be diced. Minutes after leaving the atmosphere of Bespin, Uno, interfacing with the ship's Navi computer, turns its optical receptor to Chav, the captain of the Nothwind Chimera. Statement. As discussed in previous liaisons I've monitored from your interactions with my master while I was in an inoperable state, as well as the smuggler you've also had dealings with, I have taken the liberty of inputting the coordinates of Nar Shaddaa into the navigational systems. I have also prepared and calculated the most optimal hyperspace route. Uno pivots his head to look straight forward as he extends his arm to secure the lever that is the lightspeed motivator. Inquiry. Shall I engage the lightspeed motivator at this time, meatbag?
Chev doesn't say anything, just looking straight ahead, just gives a single nod.
The Nothwind Chimera hums with a surge of power as the hyperspace motivator begins to thrum and the engines accelerate, thrusting the Chimera into hyperspace. And an audible boom is heard as the camera observes the jump from the exterior of the ship. The camera fades to black as the cockpit rematerializes before us. Uno quietly flipping switches as he prepares this ship to continue to operate in autopilot while remaining under his observation. He turns to a Chav beside him. Reassuring statement. Feel free to rest now, meatbag. I will continue to monitor the ship's hyperspace route and alert you should any anomalies be discovered. Observation. It would seem some members of your crew require immediate attention as they are displaying signs of mental distress. Quite unfortunate. A condition I am fortunate enough to not be subjected to as an HK series droid. Boastful declaration. We are superiorly designed to withstand the vast majority of elements that would cause...
Give it a rest with the droid superiority for like an hour.
Understood, meatbag. Captain, meatbag.
Chav just kind of like knowing that Uno is right. Like, yeah, some people are a little rough on the ship. Kind of does the old man stand up and turns to walk away, comes back, checks over everything again, double checks Uno's work, and then turns and starts walking, I believe, to the cargo bay slash retrofitted hangar bay.
The camera wipe cuts from the cockpit to the airlock door where Rawl can be seen, with his back propped up against the door with his head in his hands and sweat dripping from his brow. Teeth clenched as he stews over the events that occurred not 30 minutes before.
I would think upon the camera cutting away from Chav and making his movements to the cargo bay, you would get a rushed excerpt of everything that transpired from the actual closing of the door to them going through hyperspace. Of Raw in stark lighting, going in like stuttering clips of him, and in one moment he is in the corner over there, he's rocking back and forth holding himself. Another minute he's over there punching the wall. Another minute he's just on the floor crying. And then as Chav is beginning to enter the cargo hold, you see Raw, head in his hands, not even crying anymore, seemingly not even breathing, just empty.
Chav just stands wherever it is that he got into first line of sight with Raw and just kind of watches for a moment. Doesn't say anything, doesn't move to, doesn't make any sort of motion whatsoever, just sort of waits to see what tone is going to be set by Raw, if he sets a tone at all.
At this time, Dove emerges from the corner. She, at first, was manning one of the dorsal guns at the start of the launch, but had since made her way down since leaving the atmosphere of Bespin and seeing that there was no no Wingguard in pursuit, had observed and made sure Rawl wouldn't make any rash decisions while the escape was being made. She turns and places a hand on your shoulder. He's been like this for the past 10 minutes. I'm not sure I'm the best person to help him with this situation. Figured I'd leave this to you and go up to the cockpit with Uno. Make sure he's keeping us on track.
Chav immediately thinking to himself, I'm not fucking qualified for this shit. There's a moment after the after the door between the hangar bay and the rest of the ship closes, that hiss of the airlock. Chev's still in that same. He's basically like just across the hangar bay from him. There's this wide open space. And after some time, he finally inhales. So what's it gonna be, Raw?
Almost as if it's like the reverse of having the wind knocked out of you. Air just kind of enters his body rapidly. He lifts his head, eyes bloodshot, snot everywhere. He's some fucking mess. I want to know why. That's all I want. Just why.
Getting some semblance of a response. Chev takes one step closer. I think you're gonna need to be a little more specific, buddy.
You feel like you mistake it, but you feel like there's this ethereal kind of glow about his eyes as his eyes just snap to you, and in an instant he's right in your face. What do you mean? Be more specific. You not see the shit show that we have been through since day one of this enterprise. You almost die in a Grand Prix race. A race? Since when are we here for entertainment? And now my brother is gone, and you want me to make sense of it and explain to you what everything is wrong.
Jav just kind of puts his head down, scratches his forehead for a moment. Yeah, you're right. Ain't none of it makes a lick of sense. And I'll admit, 45 minutes ago, that race was a hell of a lot more important than it is right now. But yeah, everything just went right to shit in a matter of seconds for 4 people. So
who was that guy?
I ain't got nothing to do with anybody with glowing swords, but whatever the case may be, now let me rephrase that. Raw, you ain't nobody that I need to handle socially. So Raw, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't have a fucking clue. I'd be looking, the first person that I'd be asking leapt off of my ship to make sure that we can get out of here. Second person that I'd be asking is asking me that same freaking question. So yeah, once again, Core Atlas sitting here. Everything looks like it's going to shit. Deck stacked against us. And all we can do is what we do the entire time. And he looks up at Raw. Right in his eyes. Getting every single moment that he can. Just says, "What are you going to do about it?"
Well, I'll tell you this much. Core Atlas doesn't have a core anymore. We've lost our way. I think it's high time we got back to where we started.
Where we started, running Spice. Is that what you're talking about?
At least there was honest trade in that. And didn't have the Empire breathing down our necks now, did we?
If the events of the past week tell me anything, it's that ancient Killbolt ain't going nowhere no time soon. If anything, it's probably going to be more of a thorn in our side.
He said that he had something on us. My brother and I. Don't know what it was, but it's enough to make Oho. And he stops at the mention of his brother as the physical stress is just piling up too much now, and he leans over, vomits on the floor next to him.
Chav kind of like this whole moment, like sort of this tension just broken by this. Just like, it's okay, but it's all right. Just let it out.
He
Starts patting you on the back.
he knocks his hand away so hard, so rough, just like, and he's just heaving
All right,
whatever was in his stomach.
Jesus.
I'm sure we can get that robot to clean up that later.
All right, but you're asking him. You're asking the assassin bot if he wants to clean up some vomit. That's you.
Well, at this point, I'd be willing to fight the Force if it meant I could get my brother back.
Well, sometimes before we can fight the invisible shit that moves through all the things in the galaxy, we have to start by fighting a mop in the bucket.
Chev, what are you talking about?
I would say that there was like some metaphor for like we got to start small and work our way up to a big goal, but you puked on my floor. I mean, we got to get that cleaned up. It's gross. It smells. I don't know what the hell you ate.
Fine. What then? Where do we go in this vast universe?
Well, Bespin's off limits probably, which is at least for the foreseeable future.
I'd sooner see that planet burn to the ground than go back there again.
You know, I would think that it's a lot easier being that the planet is made predominantly of combustible gas, but I guess it's not really that easy.
He looks at you with the most cold cock dead ass stare. Don't tempt me.
Right. So, Uno's got us on our path to Arshada. We do have a drop to make there. We got some people that we can talk to there. And that is the last spot that we saw Captain Taserface himself. So, who knows what we may find. But
In that moment, Chev,
I hope.
You recall that the assassin droid, or murder robot, you affectionately call him, stated that he observed you. He observed your liaisons with Dove while he was in an inoperable state.
Yep.
Which kind
Got that.
of makes you a little uneasy. Like,
Mhm.
how the fuck did you do that?
Yep. That did not go over my freshly bald head.
And there's a slight tingle at the back of your neck at that at that remembering in that moment. It's like, yeah, that's something we need to address.
Like I said, one small problem at a time.
Bite-sized chunks, if you will.
That being said, your ship is one of the fastest ships in the sector. You only got a few days worth of travel ahead of you to make it to Nar Shaddaa from Bespin. A lot of you have sustained, or several members of your crew have sustained some significant injuries and definitely need some time to recuperate. Is there anything you would like to do during this downtime while we have some travel in between?
Imagine taking damage during a fight.
Right. How much time are you giving us? Like, how much allotted time is this going to decide what project I'm going to be working on if I do?
That is a good question. I'm trying to figure out how long space travel is from Bespin to Nothwin, or not Bespin to Nothwin, Bespin to Nar Shaddaa with what's your fucking ship's hyperdrive?
It is a Class 1 hyperdrive.
Alright, where is space travel in this poor rulebook?
In the back, where everything else belongs.
You would think. Maneuvers, okay. I think we're in the right direction here.
Trying to remember how long it took
combat.
to get here.
It took you, I believe,
7 days?
just under, yeah, at least a week or just under a week to get to Bespin. So it gave you an extra.
Yeah.
Because it gave you an extra day to handle investigations.
Yeah, under a week. I think it was like either 5 or 6 days, and that's why we had 3 days to start with.
I don't need combat. I need travel. Travel. Planetary band scales. I don't need that. I need navigation hazards, celestial hazards, stellar phenomenon or chase, or terrain, critical hits, component criticals. Where is the travel section? Interstellar travel. There we go. Hyperspace travel. Ooh, Una needs to make an easy astrogation check, which we all are very confident in his abilities to fucking navigate. So I'll go ahead and do that.
When he was doing this, Chav would have helped him.
We'll give him 2 boosts in that case with your expertise and his. I should refresh the table. There we go. 3 successes, 3 advantages. Good job, Uno. That being said, while we're in the game table at this time, let's go ahead and roll our force die today.
You right.
I'll roll for Dove, and then you guys roll for yourselves. Ooh, look at that. Dove got you guys a light side.
Yay! 2 light sides.
And Chav with the resounding dark side token. Let's see.
Probably.
Nah. Yeah.
What?
That's what it is. That's what today's session is. Ladies
Shut
and
up.
Three-
gentlemen, that is 3 light side across the board. We love to see it.
No dark side, 3 tokens for the party. Just disposal.
I was about
Raul-
to say, like, Raul, we need to just do something crazy, but we'll wait until we all, like the one where we all roll 2 light side tokens apiece,
Sure. Yeah.
and then we'll just go balls to the wall on whatever we want to do.
I like the way you think, Magic Man.
All right. At this time, Raul, go ahead and roll an additional force die to determine how many free uses you have of your force sensibility.
All of them.
All of them. I second
Damn
that.
it.
Uh-oh.
Well, luck had to run out. That's okay.
No free uses at this time, so any light side tokens that you utilize to power your ability, you will have to take a strain to do so. That being said,
Luckily, I have a lot of that, so cool.
you got plenty. You got at least 3 points of strain that you can use.
About it.
Okay. Astrogation modifiers. Easy difficulty, quick calculations, or entry into hyperspace under duress, typically while escaping pursuit, which that was calculated for. Ship is slightly damaged. Ship is heavily damaged, is average, outdated, corrupt, or counterfeit. Navigation charts is easy. Or +1. Oh. Uno needs a +1 to the difficulty because this was a rush job. Okay, there we go. Still a success. 3 successes. Yeah, Uno's a reliable bitch. Alright, so within a sector it's 10 to 24 hours. Within a region is 10 to 72 hours. Between regions is 3 days to 1 week, and across the galaxy is 1 to 3 weeks. That being said, we need the galaxy map to figure out how far we're traveling. Where is the map? Give me the map. Give me the map. Galaxy map for Star Wars. Edge of the Empire.
I am not the map.
Empire. There we go. I mean, I have it in this book, but I don't want to keep flipping between pages because that would be obnoxious.
So it is 4 regions away.
4 regions away.
Hmm.
Ooh, so that's gonna be over a week. But your hyperspace, your hyperdrive accommodates for that, doesn't it?
So that's the normal one. If I'm trying to remember correctly,
Class 1 hyperdrive remains the same. However, a ship with a Class 2 hyperdrive would take twice as long.
that's what
Class.
it is.
So okay, so you have a Class 2,
No, I have a class 1.
Class 1. So okay,
So it would be that whatever is listed there.
3 to 4 regions. You said
Yeah.
4 regions. So 3 times 4 would be 12. So just over a week and some change.
Sounds about right.
Yes. All right. I'm in Russian internet, and I don't like that. Let's go back to American internet. Thank you. Just a little side note for all you observers on the internet: please do not buy laptops off Amazon's auction place because they will give you a Russian piece of shit that will send your search inquiry to Russian internet space, and you won't be able to understand what the fuck they're saying. That being said, FBI, I am not a Russian KGB spy. This is just a laptop that I got from Amazon. Blame them.
Amazon sends you laptops that will give your searches to Russia. Nobody bats an eye. TikTok is owned by a Chinese company. Everybody loses their minds.
Sounds to me
Right.
like the clown and prince of crime is out there doing the Lord's work.
I think this exact topic would send the Clown Prince of Crime on a tirade. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, what the fuck? What is this shit? That being said, so yeah, about 12 days. You have 12 days of travel ahead of you guys. With a class 1 hyperdrive. Wait,
Right.
class 2 hyperdrive.
One.
Class 1 hyperdrive.
Yes.
Class 1 hyperdrive. That's 3 days times 4. So yeah, 3 days times 4 is 12 days.
Yep.
For the record, the only way the Nothwind Chimera's hyperdrive gets better is if I get a class 0.5.
Okay.
Is that even a fucking thing?
That is a thing because that's the hyperdrive that the Millennium Falcon has.
Shut the fuck up. Ooh.
I did my research.
That makes sense. That tracks.
All right,
very well.
that's good to know. Okay, I need more post-it notes. I need more post-it notes so I can mark this fucking travel page. I need this noted so I can remember.
Is a GM screen for all this stuff.
Well, the GM screen doesn't have. I have a GM screen, but it keeps all like items, ranged weapons, difficulties, all that good shit, maneuvers, actions, all that stuff. Does not have hyperspace travel.
You need to make your own GM screen.
That's a good point. That is a good point. That being said, we have 12 days ahead of us, gentlemen, and gentle lady, and gentle droid. So, what would you like to get done in that time frame?
Well, one quick order of business would be divvying up the official take from the heist, which, given that the core atlas is currently Chav, Rawl, and Dove, that would be 250,000 credits apiece.
Okay. Easy enough to do now that you're in international space. You maneuver your assets around to allow you to maneuver and liquidate and such. That allows you to disperse the income equally amongst your crew. That's easily done within a day. So that's 1 day down.
Special note on this.
Day of space travel. My true love gave to me
Oh,
credits that more than I could see. Anyway,
special note on this. That is evenly split 3 ways.
okay.
Not Chav's, factoring in an extra share for the ship.
Okay.
So 1.5 million credits dispersed evenly between the 3 crews is 2.5 thousand?
No, we didn't get 1.5 million total.
Oh, that's right. We split that up.
Yeah, we ended up walking away with 750, so half the take.
750,000 between the remaining crew. Okay.
Which comes out to be 250,000 per crew member.
Right. And recovery rate. What is the recovery rate for wounds?
That don't matter. I got a stim pack.
All right.
He's gonna shoot him
want-
in the leg until he feels better with this medical
him up.
gun.
Should you want to recover naturally without using up resources, which, I mean, is not too big of a deal, you can do a medicine check. Each full night's rest recovers 1 wound regardless of the character's current state of health, so yeah. And then you can do a medicine check to... with your... I would assume that you would have some sort of makeshift medical bay within the Nothwind Chimera, correct?
Well, here's the thing, and I believe that we're going to need GM ruling on this, because I did purchase on Chav's sheet for things that he has. I do have an emergency med pack, but I also have a stim pack. Now the stim pack, as described, you shoot yourself up with it, you recover 5 wounds. If you do that again within like a 24-hour period, you get to recover 4 wounds. You do it again, it's 3. You do it again, it's 2. You do it again, it's 1, until it stops working. That's within a 24-hour period. So you just wait until the next day, technically, and do it again. Now, here's the other thing that this is where I'm really saying that there needs to be a GM ruling, is because there's not an amount of uses on the stim pack. It's just you have this. So theoretically, in a single day, a person could heal 13, 14, 15, 16 wounds with a stim pack.
Right.
Every day.
That's a good point. Let's see if there's any charges to it. I believe there isn't a specified charge, which in that case, my ruling would be you would have to purchase additional charges to be able to use it in succession like that. Let's see. Stim packs are auto-injection tubes filled with medicine, Bacta, and painkillers. They are field-ready emergency health recovery products and useful for quick healing in the field. There are countless makers of stim packs. Blah, blah. Yeah, that's not important. It takes a maneuver for a character to inject a stim pack in themselves or another. Stim packs are one-use items and automatically heal 5 wounds. One-use item. So you have to buy multiple.
I'm just dumb.
It's a one-use
That's
item,
what
and the effectiveness goes down as you use multiple.
Yes.
If you bought like a dozen of them, you're only getting away with like 5 of them in a day.
Yeah.
So they don't have unlimited charges. They are only one-use items. That being said, you can have it's a vial. So I'm seeing the item itself. It has a magazine that you can purchase, or a magazine that you can fill the vials into.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a stim gun. You just need the vials itself to use. So the gun, you can repeatedly use. The vials, however, are one-time use.
Now, you do have, at least according to Jedi Survivor, you do have BD with his stim syringes. That's
the same situation.
Yeah, but you have the gun, but it's a whole like separate thing by itself. You just plunge it into your neck or whatever, and it does the same thing instead of having the stim gun.
That's just flavor at that point.
All right.
Still only going to require a maneuver, not an action, just a maneuver to utilize. You can flavor it however you want, either be a direct ejection from the vial itself or utilizing a stim gun. But that's the situation. So
ooh. Hang on. Hang on. Sorry. Continue. I realized that I was reading MedPack and not Emergency MedPack.
Slightly larger and infinitely more advanced than a standard emergency pack, the Fast Flash is a good example of a med pack carried by trained medics. The med pack carries instruments for emergency field surgery, a better diagnostic computer, and Medi-scanner. Advanced synth nutrient replicators for sustaining a patient's vital nutrients, spray splints, and counter radiation and biological poison drugs. Ooh. So if you want to be the medic of the party, you can purchase a med pack to be more effective in the field. Treat your party. It allows characters to attempt to heal others using medicine checks without penalty, as described on page 219. And additionally grants them a bonus boost die on all attempts. In addition, the internal stim storage grants the user the equivalent of 1 stim pack per scene.
See,
Ah.
that made me go ooh ooh ooh. But then I realized that what I purchased was an emergency med pack, which is not the same thing. That just allows you to make medicine checks without any penalties. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
there isn't on the Nothawan Chimera. There is not a med bay currently. Pretty much with everything going on, it's literally
A med closet.
finding a spot, and Chav pulls out the first aid kit and
Mm.
tries to heal Rawl.
So no additional benefits aside from just not having a penalty to perform a medicine check.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, not having a penalty is great. I don't know what the penalty is, but I don't want penalties. Penalties are bad.
Raw isn't
Okay,
hurt right
okay.
now.
Interesting. Okay. So day 8's complete with a disbursement of crew funds. Shit, I should have messaged Dio to see what she would have wanted done. And actually, I'm going to go and message her now. Rawl, do you have anything that you would like to do in this time frame of 12 days?
I think for the first 4 days, Rawl is going to spend pointless time disassembling every single droid part or mechanical part that he has come across in his travels thus far. Carefully catalog all of them. This is his way of keeping his mind busy and try to keep breaking while he's trying to process all of the stuff that's going
Mm-hmm.
on. And then the next is taking full inventory of everything that is on the ship, from equipment to any spare parts that are stashed away somewhere for the ship, to all the weaponry that they currently have. And
All right. Real
Yeah.
quick, go ahead and give me for the breaking down of equipment and reassembling, give me a average difficulty mechanics check with 3 setback, as you are emotionally distraught, mentally not entirely present in the moment, and exhausted from the outbursts and the nightmares that have been plaguing you at this point in time within regards to your brother making his unsuspected departure. So it's gonna be a 3 setback average difficulty. So 2 difficulty, 3 setback die mechanics check. 3 failures, 3 threats to beat. So this is just to accommodate the fact, or to address the fact that you're dealing with a lot of emotional baggage right now. It's not necessarily meaning you're going to break shit. It just means how effective you're going to be at performing your task at this point in time.
Okay. Okay. All right. In regards to inventorying the ship as well, I have this thing called Construction Specialist that lets me remove a setback die equal to how many ranks I have in Construction Specialist. I
Okay.
only have 1 right now.
Okay, so remove 1 threat then. So three failures, 2 threats to beat.
Alrighty. Well, let's see how it goes.
With that,
What I wasn't supposed to roll the setback. Hang on, let me re-roll that.
the successes still count. As you have 3 successes, which brings it to a flat roll, which still is technically a failure.
Yeah.
You just have 3 threats on top of that, which will accumulate in the form of strain. You take 3 points of strain on the second day of your travel, as it takes shape in the form of the nightmares that plague you for the first night of travel of your brother in your mind abandoning you. And that thought, that recurring thought is, I'm on my own. I don't have somebody looking out for me. My brother has abandoned me. That line of thought and translates or bleeds into your dreams that leaves you restless for the second night of your travel. You are unable to stay focused on the task at hand, and granted, it doesn't leave any of your equipment inoperable, but if there were any defects to be found, you've missed them entirely in this moment. So the second day, day 9 of this campaign, of day 9. Has it only been only 9 days since we started this campaign? Holy shit! Or started this mission. Yeah. So yeah, day 9. Yep. That's fucking wild.
9 days since we landed on Bespin.
That's crazy. Day 9. Rolf fails his routine maintenance check. Due to mental anguish. Personal notes. Okay. Next. Let's see. Did Dove respond back yet? No, she did not. Let's have Uno perform another astrogation check, just to make sure that everything is on, that the course is still clear. The current projected route is still clear, and there's no anomalies detected ahead. Still average difficulty. No setback because you guys are already. Yeah. Yep, just an average difficulty. 2 successes, 2 threats. Okay. At this point in time, it's about midday in the second day of travel into Lightspeed. Chav, you currently catching a few winks of sleep in your captain's quarters. Rawl sleeplessly pacing about the retrofitted hangar, as well as the mechanics bay, where you keep all your equipment for ship maintenance and weaponry maintenance. Just finding busy work for yourself to keep your mind distracted from the nightmares that are currently plaguing you. After almost a day of travel in hyperspace, the ship begins to alert the crew with sirens and flashing lights. Chav, you dash out of bed. Rawl, your eyes dart up to the ceiling where the flashing lights originate from, and you make your way towards the cockpit as well. Dove, working on her ship, too takes notice and makes her way to the cockpit as well. As you approach, Uno turns to the group of you as he's flipping switches and interfaces with the ship once more. Clarification. An anomaly has been discovered and seems to be pulling us from light speed. He stops manipulating the switches and his head turns to Chav. Inquiry. Shall I begin the self-destruct sequence that comes standard on every Wayfarer-class freight vessel in case of capture?
New rule. You're not allowed to suggest that ever again. Secondly, what kind of anomaly is pulling us out of hyperspace?
In this moment, the ship then lurches forward, and the frame begins to groan as the Northwind Chimera is yanked out of hyperspace in front of an impossibly large Imperial dreadnought. Chav, you immediately identify 2 gravity wells that the ship is in possession of. That is reasonable to assume is responsible for the sudden departure from light speed. As the ship comes to a grinding halt in space, your communicator begins to chirp as you are alerted to the admiral of the ship before you is now hailing you. The identifier of the ship is known as the Nullifier.
This is the point when Raw finally walks into the cockpit. He's not wearing shoes. He's shirtless, and as he's entering the door, he's pulling on a sleeveless jacket, and as he's looking out at the readouts of all what's going on and looking out through the port window, what the fuck is all that about? And just like starts strapping on things because he's just like, okay, this is the moment. He's ready to go out guns blazing. It's been his dream that he has had for the past 2 nights. He's just ready. Just this crazed look in his eyes going on right now.
Well, hate to disappoint, but Chav's just going to kind of like shrug over his shoulder and just go, maybe they're just pulling us over because we got a tail light out.
This is not the time to make jokes.
This is the perfect time to make jokes. You haven't been stopped by the Imperial Navy before?
The same deadpan glare that he gave, never.
Well, let me tell you what. I'm good at what I do because I cross my T's and dot my I's, and these guys pretty much know that. We're just going to hope that they don't get broadcast from Bespin.
That being said, Chav, your immediate attention is drawn to the fact that you are currently in possession of spice.
I know.
And you don't have your hanger with the smuggler's bay in them.
I know. I'd imagine that it's, packaged indiscriminately.
Discreetly, yeah.
Yeah. Not like
okay.
Not your box of spice. No.
And that's also that would also be something you would address in this day's worth of travel time that you had ahead of time prior to this. If they were not inconspicuously packaged, you would have taken the time during this up to this point to try and make them as innocuous as possible. But the current present situation at hand continues to hail you on your communicator as your communicator continues to chirp over and over.
Right, go over there and dot your T's and cross your I's and whatever it is you do. Otherwise, I'm going to make those T's and I's disappear.
Got it. Cross the I. Okay. And Chad's just going to clear his throat and click over the communicator. We read you loud and clear. Nullifier, how can we help you today?
The image of a 6'4" human male with bright blue eyes, blonde hair, in his late 30s, where complemented with a dark pencil mustache, appears on the hall display. This is Admiral Camus Yuldani of the Nullifier. You will power down your thrusters and prepare to be boarded. You are being detained under suspicion of smuggling illicit contraband. Do not resist or you will be fired upon.
What was that last name that he gave?
Admiral Camus Yuldani.
Gildani. Chav's just going to kind of nod back. Roger that, Admiral Yuldani. No worries here. Not my first stop. Not gonna be my last. Don't worry. We'll sweep up the place for you. Over.
As you say that, the ship begins to be pulled towards the dreadnought before you can even react. As the ship begins to sound alarms to indicate that it's being locked in by a tractor beam, a squadron of TIE fighters fly forth to escort you to one of the landing bays before you. It's a long few minutes at this time. Anything you would like to discuss before reaching the landing bay?
Yeah. Number one. No. You should hide.
Understood, Captain. I shall engage in protocol etiquette and disperse my weapon for subterfuge.
All right. This is a test. Who am I?
Statement. You are Captain Meatbag.
Nope. You gotta do better than that.
Correction. You are Captain Chav Visto of the Northwind Chimera.
That's
My
better.
current commanding officer, aside from my master, Dove.
Dove, who is a
Bounty hunter.
nope. Try again. Wait a minute, Dove, you got your license?
That's a good question.
Dove just smirks coyly and presents her crest, indicating that she is an officiated bounty hunter, and just pats Uno on the shoulder. The two of us shall be no problem. We've had entanglements with the Empire before.
He hasn't. He's just he was literally born yesterday.
He has no distinguishing markings to indicate that he is an illegal droid. As long as he presents himself as a protocol droid, we should be fine. And you will present yourself as a protocol droid, correct, Uno? Begrudging statement. Yes, Master, I will present myself as a lowly protocol droid.
And protocol droids don't call people meatbags.
You can hear like a sudden grinding of gears as an indication that he's very annoyed with with that statement. But he doesn't say anything and just he hands his sniper rifle off to Dove, who then places it within the armory on the ship, and remains with you guys for the duration. This is about a 10-minute worth of travel time. Anything else that you guys would like to discuss? You got about 3 minutes left before you're boarded.
My cover story is going to be Rawl and Dove actually cracking open part of Dove's ship in the hangar bay, making it look like we're working on it. and putting some of the parts that are in boxes on top of the boxes of
Illicit goods.
illicit goods to make it seem like it's just another box in the pile. Think
Okay.
what we're trying to add in there.
With that plan, you guys disperse like instantly and do a quick rush job. Pull some panels off of Dove's ship, setting them off to the side, making it look like you've been working on the ion or the hyperspace motivator on her X-wing. Within the next minute, you hear.
Could we make it that is this something that I could pass off as you don't want it unless you're wearing protective gear? You don't want to be standing near this guy while he's working on it.
I'm going to say it's going to require a formidable deception check if you're going to want to try and pull this off. As a lot of people, as a dreadnought, as an admiral of a dreadnought, you know that they are in command of. Let me give you an exact amount. 1 second. NPCs. Let's go back to.
Too damn many is the answer.
It's a lot. They are in command of over 125,000 officers, pilots, and enlisted crew, and they have 20,000 troops and support staff that are constantly involved in both the engines and the hyperspace motivators, who would also act as advisory staff to the admiral and its boarding crew. So you can try
himself coming on board.
You don't know.
That's going to be a red flag if he does. Chav is assuming, for lack of a better term, just grunts that are gonna come in,
right?
Show off their bright, shiny stormtrooper armor and their what was it, E1 blaster rifles or whatever they're called. And,
yeah. This is not.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me. Go ahead, Chav. Give me a cool check, real quick. I'll give you 3 boosts, as this is something that you've been subjected to many times in your career. So this is not something new to you. I just want to see how level-headed you are in this situation to determine how this is going to be an average difficulty, 1 failure, 2 threats to beat, and you get 3 boost die on top of your cool check.
All right. We're going to give it a shot.
The advantages beat it out. You're caught off guard in this sense. You're definitely caught off guard.
Wasn't expecting it today.
Right. Not this soon, especially with the Empire backing you. This is. You thought you would have some level of protection at this point. But that being said, you're still kind of prepared. You still have a plan in place to deal with this type of encounter. So yes, you can pull off this deception if you want to. I'll give you 2 dice, boost die, to try and pull it off. It's going to be contested by the boarding officer in charge.
Fair.
What is it we're trying to convince them of?
That exactly. You guys are just that. Number one, the spice is in crates of like ship parts and stuff like that, that you are actually working on Dove's ship with her to, and that's why some of these boxes are open and you can clearly see ship parts in them. So, like, we have boxes of drugs.
Right. I'm trying.
And we have boxes of legit shit. And we're going to put the boxes of legit shit on top of the boxes of drugs so that it looks like it's all one stuff. And then when you open the top one, it's like, oh, that's fine. And then you just don't look at the bottom. Not specifically that, but that's the whole thing.
Okay.
We're gonna make it look good. We're gonna bury the glitter, the spice in normal looking shit, and just pass it off as shit parts. And we don't know how successful we're gonna be.
Give me 1 second to look up how long it takes to ritually do the Ichor blade. It doesn't say. How long would you say a item can be ritually prepared due to the summoning?
Well, didn't you already have a weapon
So
on?
yes, but I'm trying to make it a more inconspicuous blade, like an exacto knife kind of thing. So it's not just a giant vibro axe cutting into metal. It's kind of weird. More
Well,
like an
that's not
actual
what
tool.
you would be. We have actual tools.
Yeah.
Not for cutting ship hull.
We have fusion cutters. We have mechanic stuff.
He's trying to hide shit and in a rush job. I would say with something that requires a ritual, it's not going to be quick enough, especially with only a minute left before you're about to be hailed to be boarded. You're not going to have time to prepare a ritual to hide a fusion cutter as a weapon.
Your job
No.
is to make look like mechanic because you are a mechanic. And if anybody asks, they don't want to be hanging around because of fumes or sparks or whatever it might be.
Correct. And I was trying to utilize the catarsis bit of that to help facilitate that action. But I didn't want it to be, well, yeah, I'll just use a fusion cut. That's fine.
Yeah.
It'll buff out.
It'll buff.
And
It'll
that's
buff
what
out.
you tell Dove exactly. It'll buff out, and then you carve a hole in her shit. No, I'm kidding.
She would fucking murder both of you.
Yes.
Probably.
I know that for a fact.
He's a Jew.
That being said, within the next minute, you hear the sound of, after touching down in the landing bay, the echoes of massive clamps locking in place on the Chimera's landing struts can be heard from within. You can hear the clanking of an armored gauntlet pounding on the airlock into the retrofitted hangar bay as somebody from the exterior calls out, Captain of the ship, open the door and prepare to be boarded. We are here to conduct a investigation of your ship for illicit goods. Open the ship, or we will breach and detain you.
All right, keep your shirt on. Give me a second. The door sticks a little bit. Please have your identification ready as the search party, etc., etc. You know how it all goes, and there it is. There, and then he cracks the door.
As you pop the door open, you are greeted with a
manifest in hand.
Manifest in hand. Good job. All right, I like it. You crack the door open. You're immediately greeted with the presence of an Imperial officer. You've seen ranks. You've seen the ranks before. It's a lieutenant, not an admiral. You get a sense that the admiral doesn't want to be trifled with the trivial matters of investigating a ship. He's just acting
a little hotter than normally for what could be a traffic stop.
No, lieutenant is the lowest rank of officers, so you get a sense that this is the grunt of the commissioned group of officers taking the brunt of responsibility for investigating the ship. He is immediately followed by an entourage of 15 stormtroopers, who immediately surround you and your crew, with 5 per crew member. So you, Rawl, Dove. Uno isn't immediately addressed as they don't as they. Actually, let's get a quick what's an insight? I keep asking this question. What is insight? What the fuck is insight? I think it's discipline. I keep having this issue. I think it's either discipline or vigilance. What is insight? I always have this issue when I come to this point. I need to know. Here we go. Here's the skills. Education. Rank. No. We need. That's too far forward.
I think it's Streetwise.
Streetwise is more so. Let's see. I think it's more so having to do with identifying. Life on the Galaxy Fringe is less savory. If a character is looking for a merchant who specializes in unsavory goods, Streetwise represents characters' instincts for how to pick up subtle cues from languages and attitudes of those who operate outside of legal structures.
Yeah.
When dealing with criminals. So this isn't necessarily criminals that you're dealing with, so it wouldn't necessarily fall under the Streetwise category. Pick luck, imprison characters, identifying vulnerable aspects of security, resilience piloting, perception. The characters is unprepared for a trap, a postcode delivery. Perception may be checked at any time if in the character notice a subtle clue, not overheard conversation, the stink of a Jawa, or surveillance situations where the user is trying to observe an unaware target from a distance, and that's not it. No. Negotiation medicine, leadership mechanics, discipline. If a character is pinned down by heavy fire, confronted by a creature with inherently horrifying aspects, it's not it. No. Deception, coordination, cool. Often when somebody is trying to be overly kind, the truth becomes lost among the niceties. Characters can use cool to resist these efforts penetrating through the truth. I think it's I think it's cool. Character has set a trap. Character is engaging in the third social discussion with the timing of argument matters. Cool may be used to determine initiative. Okay. So the first quality. Often when someone is trying to be overly kind, the truth becomes lost. Among niceties, characters can use cool to resist these efforts penetrating through to the truth. That does sound along the lines of insight.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I'd say that. That's what you're looking
for. Coercion. Yep, I think it's charm. Let's see what charm says. Persuading an individual appeals to the target's better nature. Seduction attempts. Yep, it's cool. Okay. We're going to have the stormtroopers do a cool check against your what did I ask you to do? Wait, what? Shit. Fuck. What? Oh, against Uno. That's right. Doing a cool check against Uno to see if they suspect him of any deception. Okay. We're going to do an average difficulty. 1 failure, 1 threat, so the stormtroopers don't succeed. Let's see if Uno can maintain his deception. Ooh. Would you guys like to cash in a light side token to help him be more successful in his attempt to be deceptive?
Nah, he's got it.
Damn you. Wait, doesn't he have an ability for this? I'm assuming. Here's some intimidating jump up, lethal blows. Loom. Point blank precision. Second one, snipe. I need. May spend a destiny point when making a knowledge check to settle streetwise. No, that's not it. Stalker, sniper, second wind, quick strike, natural enforcer, point blank. Where is your droid mate? That's not important. That's stance. Adversary. We're going to go to your character sheet. Indistinguishable. The character's appearance is so common that people have a hard time identifying distinguishing traits. Opposing characters upgrade the difficulty of any check made to identify them once per rank of indistinguishable. So he only has one rank of it, so the difficulty goes up by 1, which was a average to a hard. So we're going to roll that hard difficulty. There we go. So 1 failure, 3 threats against Uno's deception, which will be 2 successes, 3 advantages. So Uno cancels out the threats entirely and still succeeds. Well, he succeeds because the difficulty was posed against the stormtroopers. However, he only had an average difficulty, so 1 failure, 2 failures, 3 threats, 1 threat, 2 failures, 3 threats. 2 failures, 3 threats. Oh shit. Ooh. They're suspicious of him. But they do not suspect him as of yet. Unless he speaks out of... unless he gives them any indication to suspect him. As of right now, Uno is incognito. So that's good. It's not the best. They're still wary of him, but they currently are not holding up their guard against him right now. That being said, transition a little bit. There we go. Okay. The crew of Core Atlas is presently then detained by the massive entourage that is the stormtroopers that boarded the Nothwing Chimera.
We're still on the Chimera, right?
Currently, yes, but you are currently being manacled by the entourage of 15 stormtroopers just by the wrist. Standard. You know this is to be standard procedure when investigating a ship suspected of smuggling illicit goods. You've been through this process time and time again. It's kind of annoying to you at this point, but you know as long as you don't stir the pot, they can't pin anything on you as long as you've made the situation on your ship as innocuous as possible, which you've taken strides to do so. Granted, you're still you weren't prepared for this encounter entirely, but you're fairly confident with your cool roll that you've done enough to dissuade any suspicion. I'm sure you are. So yes, the 3 of you are currently being bound by the wrists by manacles. Each member of Core Atlas has an entourage of 5 stormtroopers currently detaining you and pulling security on you. And do you comply in this instance?
He complies, and without being too pushy or anything. Like, he knows what kind of chatter he can get away with. So, like, as they're putting the manacles on, he's, like, nodding to the stormtrooper and stuff, but looking to the lieutenant and just be like, so how many Freddy's you got to stop today?
Keep your mouth shut, alien. We have nothing to discuss.
Hey, man, just trying to make conversation. It's all routine here. I go through this all the time up near Nar Shaddaa with Lieutenant Calfran all the time. So, I mean, I know you got to do what you got to do. You got your numbers to hit.
Give me a charm check. Hard difficulty, but I'm going to give you 2 boost die for that.
Might I use a light side token?
Sure. Send it.
I'd say go for it.
1 success, 4 advantages.
Oh!
Needed it.
So, okay. There's a slight break. There is a slight break in his demeanor, but he still maintains.
That tracks.
You get a sense that there was a moment that he wanted to be jovial, but his training, his imperial doctrination re-sees the moment, and he maintains the discipline that the demeanor that he's presented to you so far. Follow your course follow the stormtroopers to the detainment center and prepare yourself for processing.
So now they want them to leave the ship.
Yes.
Is
And
this standard protocol?
Oh yes. Yes, they so you've handed him your manifest, so he is looking that over. The need to remove the crew from the ship is part of the standard procedure of investigating the ship, as to assuade any interference from the crew from the investigation. They don't want any distractions. They want to be able to conduct their investigations without any other entities present during the investigation period. So this is still standard procedure. You're being led towards a holding center on the Dreadnought, and or you're being brought towards the holding center of the Dreadnought, unless you comply throughout the trip. Otherwise, if you decide to take any other actions now while you're still within range of your ship, you can do so.
He would still comply, and less so directing to the admiral, or not the admiral, the lieutenant, more so to the stormtroopers. Just be like, not trying to cause trouble, just doing my duty, making sure y'all are safe. We were working on that ship that's in the hangar, hyperdrive, just making sure that you guys are going to be safe going around it. Don't want any accidents happening on my ship. That stormtrooper gear you got, that's good for Class 8 corrosives, right?
We have built-in filtration systems in place. Don't worry about us.
That's good for the fumes. I'm talking about, like, you get it on your hands or anything like that. I don't want it to go through and then the wife signing the paychecks. You know what I mean? Again,
in that moment, you see the platoon of stormtroopers start to look towards each other, like, does our gear fucking protect us from radiation? Like,
corrosives, not radiation, corrosives.
I mean, even still, like, they're like, it's just blaster proof, right? No, yeah, no. I mean, even still, like, that doesn't even protect against it. And they're quickly refocused by the lieutenant as he shouts out, "Take them to the detention center now!" And they give you a prodding to move along as they lead you to the detention center.
Not along, put his hands up, and then, like, to the ones that, like, definitely were, like, looking around and stuff. He's just going to pantomime, and then he's going to mouth the words, "Wash your hands."
Fucking sadistic.
Yeah. As Rawl is getting manacled. There we go.
Ooh, you're getting a manicure.
Yeah, I'm getting manicured right now. That's nice.
Mani-pedi in the middle of the search.
Yeah, it's great. Only with the French. As he's getting manacled, Rawl is saying things like, "Right there, easy with the goods. Yeah, that's merchandise right there. These hands are worth more than your several cycles of your paycheck. Right? Yeah. Take care. Also, if I find one thing out of place in my bench, I will have names. I will have numbers. Oh, yeah, you might not want to touch that vial over there. That's my cleaning agent, and if you get it anywhere, you
Shut
literally
your
will
mouth,
have
smuggler.
10 minute. Right. Oh, all right. If the ship's in shambles, it's your fault. And he just walked out the door.
So you guys are led out to the detention center. Dove has been notably quiet, but she has a smirk on her face as the three of you are let out. Uno's still in tow, albeit less guarded, as the security entourage have not really assumed or deemed him to be much of a threat,
Yet.
unbeknownst to them.
Full
You're
disclosure for my partner in crime over here and the audience. This is a bad situation. Like,
yeah.
like everything goes smooth, we get out of here, but any little thing goes off, it's not good.
As
How
you're being
getting a destroyer is nothing. It's child.
this is a dreadnought. This thing is miles fucking long. Miles.
Sure, yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
As you're being led off the ship, you are immediately greeted with the visage of thousands of stormtroopers in formation outside of your ship. Thousands. The hangar bay itself is massive in its entirety. You can see the ceiling is lined with TIE fighters, Imperial TIE interceptors, TIE bombers. This thing is fully equipped.
Are there any
Chat-
other searches happening at the same time?
Say again?
Are there any other searches happening at the same time?
As of right now, you are the only... Actually, that's a good point. I'm going to need all three of you to give me a formidable perception check right now.
The perception's all formidable. I don't think that I can pass a formidable perception check, I'll be honest.
It's not too hard. 1 failure, 4 threats to beat. Impressively.
Jeff.
Here we go. What the?
Still nothing. You still get... No, you don't even get advantages. You got 2 threats still. But that's not going to accumulate or take form in anything. Dove, however, let's see what she can pull off. Perception. Okay, she's got some decent skills. Oh, shit! Dove coming in clutch!
Oh,
This is
wait.
why she's here.
Okay. Do I need to? Because I could always use a light point to sense everything.
For this, I would say no, because
Okay.
Chav's just trying to gauge if they're pulling over everybody or if they pulled over the Chimera.
Fair. Okay. All right.
That being said, do you guys take a look around? I mean, the magnitude of the ship that you're currently being detained by is impressive in its own right. This is
Right.
probably the first time you've been detained by an Imperial dreadnought. You've been detained by Star Destroyers time and time again. That's common occurrence in your line of work.
Right.
But a dreadnought is a rare sight to find.
Yeah, so that being said, like the hangar bay or hangar bays, either any of them on a Star Destroyer could hold several freighters. So it probably
Right.
wouldn't be that uncommon, especially if they're, setting up a traffic stop on a hyperlane to pull over more than one at a time. And then, this squad's checking this one, this squad's checking this one. Something like a dreadnought, Chav is expecting to see at least a few other freighters, or else we're in deep shit.
Right. And you're looking around, you're not seeing anything. Rawl, you're not. You look around, you're seeing. You're distracted by the impressive presence of the Air Force that they have presently within this hangar bay. Dove, however, spots something familiar. And she gives a sharp whistle. Psst. Chav, Rawl, you look back and she nods her head, or gestures her head off to the immediate right of the three of you. Do you look in the direction that she's indicating?
No, discreetly. Just kind
Yeah,
of.
definitely not like blatantly staring.
We ain't staring hard body.
The three of you make a quick little glance in the direction that she indicates. And you can see a familiar Kuwait Drives Yard manufactured VT-49 Decimator. One that you've encountered once before. You can't see the side of the ship that indicates what the name of the ship is, but it is extremely familiar to you. You guys are then brought to the detention center, where Admiral Camus Yuldani presides.
As they are walking throughout the ship, Rawl is taking mental notes at each turn, like how many steps it took to get to this turn, so on.
I would say this is about a 20-minute walk from the hangar bay to, because it is a massive, massive hangar bay. And on top of that, getting to the detention center, yes, you're taking several turns. It's once you hit the gangway, it's a straight walk for about five intersections, then an immediate left, 2 intersections down, you make a right, and then an immediate left from there, and then you're brought into an interrogation room where Admiral Camus Yuldani is currently waiting for you. You're brought in, the three of you, including Uno, who stands in the back of the interrogation chamber, unassumingly, trying his best to present himself as a protocol droid of some variation. Dove, Rawl, and Chav, you are sat down at the interrogation table across from Admiral Camus Yuldani, who is sitting there with his hands folded in front of him, a cold and calculated stare as he assesses the three of you.
If the moment takes too long, like the most uncomfortable amount of time, Rawl will just kind of look around a little bit. Well, as much as I like having intimate relations with eyes, he's completely ignoring.
Shut up.
Completely ignoring. So what do we owe the honor, Your Majesty, of your presence here today?
His eyes focused on you for a moment, Rawl, as he quietly assesses you, but after a minute of calculating your behavior, his cold blue eyes turn to Chav. I'm safe to assume that you are the captain of the Northwind Chimera. Am I correct?
You are?
quite a command you hold over your crew, as they don't seem to take adherence to your commands.
It's not nearly as tight ship as the Imperial Navy, Admiral.
Unfortunate.
Indeed.
Yes,
He turns to
more-
you. And
Go ahead.
he turns to you and leans in forward. You might do well to answer to your superiors, lest you find yourself evacuated out the airlock chambers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Not one I've actually experienced before, I don't think.
And
Does it hurt?
keep up that that insubordination, and you will.
Oh, chat. You wouldn't.
That's Captain. Captain, we're gonna start there. Captain.
Oh, excuse me.
Gentlemen, can we not instigate our situation any further?
Situation? What situation is that, pray tell?
You're right, this isn't Management 101. I apologize, sir.
That was Dove talking, sorry. I should have indicated.
Yeah, but even
Right.
still, Jev would address the basically like trying to say like, yeah, you're not giving up
Yeah,
a course on how to be a manager.
So that would have been Dove chirping up with her hand, like her manacled hand, like, can we chill? And then Camus, still maintaining his composure, just watches the squabbling between Chav and Rawl. His eyes divert over to Dove as she tries to de-escalate the situation. I'm sure you're aware of your present circumstance here on the nullifier. You are currently the reason for your detainment, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then you're
Rawl
aware
just
that.
kinda looking around.
Then you're aware that you are suspected of transporting illicit goods across the galaxy for nefarious purposes, breaking the Imperial law.
That is correct, sir. It is the job of the Imperial Navy to suspect every freighter until proven otherwise. It's not my first rodeo. I understand.
You have quite an impressive decorum, Captain Chav Visto.
Hey, like I said, not my first rodeo. Keep
I
my nose
suppose
clean.
I shouldn't expect anything less from a Flight Academy student. A shame that you were unable to graduate, though.
Indeed, it is blackest part on the Imperial Navy's decisions of the past, if you ask me.
I'm impressed. However, Camus gives you the coldest glare. The Imperial Empire doesn't make mistakes. Chav Isto.
Right. My mistake. Admiral.
That is correct. And as you get a sense that he's about to build up into drilling into you in this moment, as he takes in a deep breath. And as he is about to utter his first sentence, another Imperial enters the interrogation chambers. Sir, you're being requested by the ISB agents that we are in transport of. Apparently, these individuals have a secret clearance that we are not allowed to interfere with. What do you mean? They have a security clearance.
Oh, what was that? Was that the other shoe dropping?
Brawl.
Sorry.
So I'm sorry. So I'm just passing the message along. The ISB agent, FA, I can't remember his handle, FA S7384? Yes, Agent Kilbolt. What about him? He said, you are not authorized or cleared to speak with the occupants of the Northwind Chimera. You are to depart this chamber immediately. What do you mean? This is my ship. I am the admiral of the Nullifier.
Jeff makes that face.
In that moment, you can see Admiral Camus seething as he turns his gaze from this Imperial soldier over to the group of Core Atlas. This isn't over.
I actually think your man just said that it is. With
And
all
if it-
due respect.
And if we're gonna be here a while, I would like a pot of coffee or some.
Hey, Rawl.
Listen,
Which way are you?
we haven't
Rawl.
even been given the basic amenities that go with a search. All right,
Right.
I've been here before too.
He didn't know any better. This ain't on him. That's why I didn't, start flaunting clearance when we first got here.
You would think
Like
that
the man did his
Admiral,
job.
though.
Rawl, come on.
Camus is fucking boiling right now in this moment as Rawls taunting him and Chav, you're trying to diffuse the situation.
This is obviously a very embarrassing situation. Let's not make it worse for the guy. He can still recover this. He's a good admiral, just doing his job, serving the.
Enough of this! And he slams his hands on the table and stands up. You make that face, Dove. 2 makes the similar face. And there's a... Rawl, your innate ability to pick up microtransactions. You detect a moment of reaction from Uno from behind you.
Oh no! Oh no!
In the
Oh, no,
effort
it's Uno.
to finally break the fuse that would kind of like fudge the line between discipline and him falling into his emotions, Raw puts his manacled hands behind his head, crosses his legs. Wake me when the bad cop arrives, will you?
Jeff doesn't make eye contact with anybody, just shakes his head.
In this moment, the door hisses open, and the 3 of you turn and observe the same figure you've met before. Before you were contracted to embark on the heist of the Jewel of Yavin. Adorned in the mask that you've once encountered before, that conceals his face's identity. Alongside him, oh, didn't mean to do that. Alongside him, the 2 agents you've seen once before as well.
Okay.
The 3 of them enter, and Kilbolt turns his attention to the Admiral. You gonna work or what?
No.
No.
Refuse.
Come on. We can't
Why
connect
not?
with voice mod servers. Some content may be unavailable. Oh, how fun. Try again.
Oh, you got to do it a cappella.
Beep-a-da-bop-bop, boop-bop-beep-bop.
This is Agent Kilbolt.
Admiral Yuldani, you will at this time depart the interrogation chambers as we are now taking over this investigation. I'm sure you'll understand as your clearance is not authorized to interrogate these individuals any further.
Chad just looks down.
Raw.
Yuldani,
Go ahead. Continue.
Yuldani's gaze flits from between both the crew of Cora Ellis over to the ISB agent presented before him. The anger almost reaching a boiling point before he just... Fine. It's your investigation, agent. But if any illicit goods are found on the ship under my command, this is my seizure. Understood.
Careful to not choke on your aspirations, but
Ambitions, I think.
Ambitions.
careful to not choke on your...
Also correct.
I mean, technically both, but
Because you
ambitions
aspire
got
to
more.
things.
Oh, I'm thinking of
More.
perspiration. I'm thinking perspiring. My bad. I was like, aspirations? Aspirations is that no, it's aspirations.
Careful to not choke on your aspirations, Admiral. It would be a shame that you would choke on such a trivial matter.
I still feel like aspirations is wrong, but we'll find out. We'll do a Google search later during the break. Admiral Yuldani stands up from his chair and storms out in that moment. Killbolt.
Don't forget the coffee. What?
The agent.
It's been a long day.
The agent circles around the lot of you to reach to and arrives to the chair that Yuldani was occupying. The other two still remaining behind you. The agent's singular ocular receptor turns to the agent to your right as he continues.
Agent Obelisk, please secure the security room and make sure that all footage of this interrogation chamber is deleted and nothing more is recorded at this point in time. Agent Stitch, make sure no one else interrupts this interrogation. Understood.
The two agents behind you quietly, without a word, depart from the chamber. You take a look around as you watch for a minute the cameras that are currently observing you. Continue to observe you for about 2 to 3 minutes before you hear the audible disengagement of the power source to these cameras. And the cameras begin to descend and lower. In this moment, the agent before you reaches up to his mask, an audible as he lowers the mask once more, revealing the face of Agent Killbolt, your benefactor.
Raw gives a theatrical fake gasp. And then just stone faced.
The fact that there is the noticeable absence of a certain brother, I can only assume that the mission was not all that successful.
You could say that it was a mixed success.
Indeed. So am I to assume that you are in the possession of the Karuska gem that I told you to hold on to?
Raw gives the most bombastic side eye to Chav as he's trying to somehow telepathically convey, are we given the real gem?
We can't.
Oho took it with him.
Oh, fuck.
And that's when Dove chimes in. Unfortunately, it was destroyed in the assassination attempt on the crew of Core Atlas agent. Is that so? Chav, Visto, is she telling the truth?
That is correct. Although, if you'd like a fancy replica of it, it is in the possession of. Fuck! Why do I always forget his name?
Forrest Aberth.
Forrest Taberth.
Voice Everett, yeah.
Forrest Taberth. Although I don't think that he's going to have too much access to it, probably from prison.
Right, as he is now presently under the apprehension of the Wing Guard, and that gem that he was supposedly in possession of has been deemed a fake.
Wow, that was fast.
Right.
They do work fast.
I know. These
So,
you know.
It's weird.
I'm to so I'm to presume that the gem was destroyed in the events that transpired over the past week.
Yep, gone kapoof.
To the best of our knowledge, I'm no geologist, but yeah, it was a pretty big bang. I'd say ask Oho, but he's not here.
And what is the current situation of Oho?
Raw.
Is he
answers.
alive?
Raw answers through gritted teeth. He's alive. But his whereabouts are unknown. You can torture us for information if you want, but you won't find much more than that.
It's strange. Most would seize this opportunity to tell us a small white lie. Oh, he's dead. I saw him fall into a pit. I saw him die before my very eyes. You chose to tell me that he still lives and is currently outside of my control.
Well, when you put it that way.
Let's just say he's not having the best of times right now.
We could still say he's dead if you'd like.
Oh, thanks for your little parting gift, by the way.
Did it suit you well?
Oh, so you do know what I'm talking about. Figures. Everyone in the Empire, all working the same angle.
What do you mean?
Well,
What did you do? What did you see?
no, you know what? I think I'll let you stew a little.
Tell me, what did you see? Did you draw attention to yourself?
Oh, yes, I think my face is quite everywhere.
Visto, answer the question. What is he talking about?
Raul, which thing are you talking about specifically right now? Because there's a few things.
Oh, there's a few. Oh, is there a few? Let's see. Shall we start with
So much because we very well might get shot in the face. This guy's name literally has kill in it. So
yeah, you're right. So, Bolty, we did our best to try and get this gem. My brother is gone. God knows where. I have half a mind to think that you and whoever this lady is that we encountered are out to frame us both.
What lady? You talking about the agent?
We did see her. That's the thing that happened. Followed your instructions to the best of our ability. It worked. She's a bitch.
Must be related.
Rawl, answer the question. What are you talking about?
Fuck, what was her name?
Are you talking about
Liza.
the agent? That
No.
one?
Mm-mm.
Eliza?
Mm-mm.
You're talking about the agent.
Agent, yeah.
IRS.
Zekra Fall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was aware of that person, and you guys adhered to the mission. Tell her nothing, and only help her if she asks you to help her. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Jedi that he's not suspecting, or are you talking about the lost brother that he's also not suspecting currently, that you can probably assume?
He's trying to ascertain
Spoiler alert.
with these questions. He's trying to ascertain what he knows, if he knows anything.
Well, I just spoiled a little bit of it. Like, he's trying to figure out what the fuck you're talking about. You're like, what are you talking about? There's too much. There's too many series of events that happen, which is why he's here right now. Like, what the fuck happened, and why are you all over the news?
We fucked up so bad that he's really worried.
Dad came down to see what's going on. Okay.
Like-
literally, he's staring at a screen that says "task failed successfully," and he's wondering what the fuck that means.
Which is the fucking story of the fucking game, apparently, because we keep fucking failing successfully.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
Almost every roll we've had so far is a failed successfully roll.
If it wasn't already taken, perfect title. Thank you, Lily.
Right.
A series of unfortunate events. I like it.
Oh man, it's so good. Okay.
Well, yes,
So,
Rawl, you would be able to pick up on that fact.
Yeah.
With the micro gestures that you're able to pick up on, he thinks that you're still talking about the agent, which he's confused by, because he's starting to be a little more emotional than you're used to. Like, he's really upset by the fact that the events that have transpired so far has drawn attention to the name of Corralis. He wanted you to remain anonymous, and yet you stood out by means of terrorism and being identified during the heist. Granted, it's still something that he's able within his power to cover up in a sense, but it's more work for him, and that's what he's upset about. You've created more work for him to keep your guys' identity concealed.
So is he is canonically like getting like what are you not telling me? What's going on? And then like now Rawl's probably going to say like, oh no, I'm talking about that ISB agent.
Yep.
And possibly diffuse that a little bit.
That is the plan. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
All right. So, in that moment, he's still pressuring you. Like, what other possible problems did you encounter with the agent? What did Zekrafol do? How did she affect the mission? Why are you deemed terrorists of Bespin? What did you do?
I think that's actually mostly Arwen Shen's fault.
Definitely Arwen's fault. Who
He
I
tried to
think
blow
you
us up.
set us up with, yes? If I remember
Yeah,
right.
that's a bad deal. I'd say stop being friends with him, but he ain't hanging around too much anymore. So there's that, but yeah, he tried to send
Oh,
us out in a blaze.
he's hanging around, all right.
Oh, absolutely. He tried
Hanging
to send
around.
us out in a blaze of glory.
Enough banter. What happened? What other situations transpired besides your encounter with the ISB agent and the mission itself?
Well, Arenshen's dead, for one.
Obviously.
That's a big one.
That's
We didn't quite do that. Maybe influenced, but
Strongly pressed.
yeah.
I am referring to the events that directly relate to the core Atlas crew.
Well, that did kind of have something to do with it because, I mean, he sponsored us during the race. He tried to kill us. He took some.
What is the gift you're talking about?
Gift? Oh, yeah. You mentioned the gift.
Yes, a gift. Well, seems to me the Empire doesn't have control of all of its dogs like it should.
What dogs, Rawl?
I think there's this one chap. What was his name? I don't think he gave his name. Some family member, was it perhaps? A brother? A lost one? Does that ring any
What are you-
bells for you?
No, what are you referring to?
Right. The reason why my brother is not here now, standing before you, listening to my banter, and trying to keep me calm and from ripping your head off as I speak. Someone called a lost brother.
Not the.
Don't care how many there are. Just one is enough.
His eyes,
Validation.
with the mentioning of the lost brother, you watch as his eyes widen with curiosity.
Oh, not something quite on your radar. Because I would hope if it was that you would let us know that somebody with a twirling fucking glow stick is going to try to chop us in half when you send us on a suicide mission.
Definitely trying to shove it with a shun don't shine. Do you understand?
Are you telling me you've encountered an Inquisitor?
Apparently he's
I don't know
an
what his job was.
Inquisitor or whatever.
Yeah.
The Inquisitors have been exterminated for about... The Inquisitors have been extinct for quite some time. How... Are you sure that's what you've seen?
Or was that before or after Order 66 that wiped all out the Jedi?
That was before the events of the first Death Star. Year 0.
What do you mean by first Death Star? There was only one Death Star.
Yeah, sorry. Misspoken. That was the events of the after the events of the Death Star, the Battle of
Battle
Yavin.
of Yavin.
There we go.
What are
Misspoken.
you telling us, Killbone?
Misspoken.
Are you telling me the building of the Death Star?
You do not see behind the screen.
Misspoken. Little metagaming knowledge there. My bad.
I'd say Freudian slip, but Freud doesn't exist in this galaxy.
Indeed.
Right. But yeah, he would say that was during the events of the first of the Battle of Yavin. The Inquisitors haven't existed since then.
So you're telling me they kind of rounded them all up and killed them all?
The attack dog of the Emperor, Lord Vader, exterminated the Inquisitors.
Oh, well, it sounds like quite legitimately he lost one.
Let me put it down into some small chunks so you can understand. What the fuck is going on? You were supposed to have all the information, all the cards. We were just supposed to fill our roles, and now we have this. What is going on?
After you mention the Lost Brother, he goes into what you can presume to be a state of catatonic as he begins to, as you see the CPU at the back of his head begin to whir and process any possible information that could relate to the lost brother and how the possibility of his existence.
You want to think long and hard about that one, because I tell you what, I signed up for a lot of shit, but I did not sign up for some fuckhead with a spinning lightsaber that's able to hold my ship from going into fucking light speed with his fucking mind, okay? You don't get prepared for something like that when you just tell, hey, go steal a gem.
He just did a formidable computers check as he processed this information.
And
He
he
succeeds.
got 17 triumphs.
Very
And
well.
succeeded. His orange eyes go dull for a moment as he processes this information, and after a moment of scrubbing the HoloNet for any mentions of somebody that matches the name, or even the possibility of somebody of an inquisitor that wasn't confirmed to be dead. He straightens up as his eyes begin to glow once more after finishing his investigation. What events transpired that would change this circumstance? What would draw the attention of an inquisitor to the crew of Core Atlas? What did you do?
I guess that we stole a gem that could potentially be. He's the. Before Chav speaks, above the table, Agent Kilbolt is the one who told us that a Karuska gem could potentially be used to power a lightsaber, right?
You did not.
Nope.
That was Eliza.
Okay. Retcon. Chav does not start speaking.
Kilbolt just directed you to a job. He was not made aware of the situation with the Karuska gem. He only reached out to you after you had became in possession of the gem and told you to maintain possession of the gem.
Right.
Which you
So
could
that being
reasonably
said-
assume that he learned what the gem is capable of.
So that being said, we're going to do a little bit of social engineering, and Chev's answer is going to instead be, I don't know, man. You sent us to steal this gem. You tell me what's so fucking important about it.
I didn't send you to do anything. I sent you to go take on a job to acquire funds.
What the fucking bureaucratic bullshit, all right? You sent us for a job to steal a gem, okay? We stole the gem. Some asshole shows up with a spinning lightsaber, and now one of our guys is MIA, and we're gemless. You tell us why.
The only reason that an Inquisitor would be on your trail is if you were capable of creating a ripple in the imperceivable energies that we know as to be the Force. Are you in possession of the capabilities of utilizing such energies?
I mean, I've been told that my flying is that good, but I ain't exactly juggling with my mind bullets.
His eyes turn to Rawl. Are you
People.
in possession of abilities that would cause ripple in the energies that is known to be perceived as the Force?
Oh, you mean the space-time continuum? Oh yes, yeah. I have a TARDIS in my backyard, waiting to be picked up any minute now.
I think that's trademarked.
Oh wait, is it? Is it trademarked? But no. He just straight deadpan. No.
He looks to Dove. Did you perceive anybody in possession of the abilities that I just mentioned? Dove just remains laid back in her chair, hands still bound. I've not witnessed any abilities that you speak of. But if you clue me in on what those abilities would be capable of doing, I'll be more than happy to be on the lookout for it. There's a visible level of frustration, a slight frustration, not much, definitely not perceivable to you, Chav or Dove, but Raw, you were able to pick up on it in the slightest, the bare slightest. He is slightly agitated, but it's not enough to break his visage, his personification of professionalism and discipline. Very well. You must double your efforts to assuage any suspicions at this point in time. Should you encounter this lost brother throughout the rest of your journeys, you are to contact me immediately. Am I understood?
Sure. You gonna be around the block? Show up?
I will do what I can to deal with this threat. We cannot have an Inquisitor on our tail as we are trying to accomplish the mission that we have at hand. A Inquisitor is a major hydrospanner in the engine that we are trying to build today.
Well, that all thing comforts me. How about you, Raw? Does that come for you?
The only comfort I can have right now is summoning credits.
I would suppose that the 250,000 credits that was just deposited in your account recently would be sufficient enough to accommodate that need. I am fully aware of what you were able to acquire financially. Don't get greedy.
You're counting
you're
on us
able
be
to
greedy. What are you
find-
talking about?
If you're able to find out that much, then you should have already known what is going on. So let me lay this out for you. We aren't your servants. You're subordinates. You have information on us, but honestly, in my personal opinion, doesn't mean jack squat. Until my brother's returned, I don't give a shit what you have on us. So,
Well,
in
I'm
order
going to
to
need
get
you
what
I'm going to need you to take in some perspective at this moment. Had I not been here, in this moment, in this time, in this very space right now, the minute you were hailed by the nullifier, should you have tried anything, you would be dust in the vast galaxy of space right now. I kept you alive. Remember that.
not flinching, still staring, I'm sure I'll be just fine. Been through worse. However, this partnership has been lucrative, and I'm amenable to working and continuing this partnership. As a partnership, that means you give us information about what's going on, no more just chucking us in blind.
You know, Raul, you really got to work on the bad news sandwich. All right, you say something good, you say something bad, then you say something good again.
Chev, it's all bad. It's all bad.
You're talking about getting paid. That's a good thing. Anyway,
What good is it if we can't spend it, right? And if we get set headlong into another mission like last time, knowing what's going on, what's really going on, credits me nothing.
You have the information that was pertinent to the meeting of the contractor of the last mission. Any other information that was required was all your responsibility. I set you up with the job. You got paid.
you know what? He's right. That's my bad. I'll take the heat on this one. I forgot crucial step 17 when planning a heist to check the local databases for Sith Inquisitors to see if there's any in the area, just to see if anything, pops up that, can't be having that. Don't worry.
Without breaking his stare on Rawl, he addresses you, Chav. The Inquisitor is an anomaly that will be now accounted for. Thank you for that information, Chav Vista. Meanwhile, maintaining this dead stare at Rawl.
I do hope the next job doesn't include a Dark Lord or some monstrosity that the Force has cooked up.
And next job will be left up to you. I have no immediate mission for you at the present moment.
Oh. Well, that's actually the biggest surprise of the year.
From this moment on, you'll be escorted back to your ship. And he begins to address the rest of the crew, finally breaking his stare on Rawl. You are not to address any of the subordinates of this destroyer, or this dreadnought. You are not to include them in, as they have not the clearance to understand the parameters of your mission. As of now, you are free agents until I contact you for the next pertinent mission. I believe your current trajectory was Nashida. I suggest you continue that trajectory and tie off any loose ends you may have. Chav, I believe you have a lot of debt you need to settle.
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking about taking on another one. All jokes aside, agent. No, I'm serious. All jokes aside. It's because a man in your position might offer some more insight on some news that's come to light, not regarding your missions or whatever you want to call them. What do you know about the blockade around Nothoin?
And that's where we'll go to break.
You son of a bitch.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick 5-minute intermission. Go ahead and get replenished on beverages. We'll address this question that Chav just presented to Killbolt when we come back. See you soon. Take care, guys. and welcome back, all my lovelies. This is your gratuitous host, Daddy Tarzan. Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 19 of Edge of the Empire, The Fallout, affectionately deemed, as we return to the aftermath of what transpired immediately after the departure of Oho from the campaign, albeit temporarily. Before we continue, let's go ahead and get a little coverage of what's going on throughout the rest of this week. I'm not really feeling this music. Let's try Into Space. Nope, definitely don't like that.
Bad touch. Go.
Nope, don't like that. Not one bit, mate. I don't like it at all.
Take
Oh,
that
shit.
shit and shove it into Thames.
Let's go with anticipation. That being said, we still... There we go, that's better. We still have the one-shot series of the Dimensional Dial going on tomorrow. Speaking of which, we haven't decided what we're doing yet. Or is this... Oh, actually, no, it's KJ's episode.
KJ
Tomorrow.
running the show tomorrow.
Yeah. You can expect several members of the 2B Dice crew to be making their appearances, or the Dimensional Dial crew to be making their appearances in that episode, minus the presence of Victor, the Storyweaver, unfortunately. But find out what's going on behind the scene, outside of the canonical timeline of the Dimensional Dial, as there are other events that take place that help shape the story that we all know. Tales of Arden this week is canceled, or not canceled, but there is no Tales of Arden this week, so I guess it is canceled. But you know, but you can catch it next week, Thursday, as we continue the journey with the fallout of the departure of Cody as Williams got North Star in the sea of adventure that is the quest for the Amber Paragon. Williams going to have to make some serious changes, be more of a present leader in that campaign for sure. So not having somebody that has the ability to not be able to forget things no longer there, it's going to be a bit of a problem for him. But yeah, he's going to have to make some character adjustments, which I'm excited for. But yeah, you can catch Tales of Arden next week. No Tales of Arden this week, so just only 2 campaigns this week, or 2 shows. So bear with us. And then possible good news, not solidified yet, but there is a possibility that the finale of Frontiers of Eberron will be taking place June 2nd. It is possible. It has not been solidified yet, so just bear with us until we can get the final dates locked in place. That being said, Edge of the Empire, to continue with the remaining crew of Core Atlas. I'm not sure what Dia's situation is as of present. I know she is presumably going to be making more of a guest spot feature in the campaign as opposed to what she was originally doing. So it's primarily going to be Chav and Rawl with interspersed characters throughout the campaign. So it's not always just going to be the 2 of them. So there will be more people dispersed throughout the campaign. So be on the lookout for that. Because your boy's got plans. Your boy's got plans. Yeah. All past broadcasts you can always check out on our YouTube at 2B Dice Adventures, as well as all of our shorts on YouTube and clips that we feature on our group TikTok page, 2B Dice Adventures. Catch us on all those platforms: TikTok, Facebook. We're primarily active on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find us on other platforms. It's just not as active. That being said, any other announcements that we need to make at this time?
Yes, I do have one. Something very big and important is happening currently in the Twitch chat. So Tarzan, you have to follow through with that now, because I mean
100,000
that's
for
who
a
put that
dream
in-
ship.
Who put that in there?
100,000 for a dream ship.
It's
What?
right in there. That was just a reward that's in there for the 2B dice ticket. That's crazy, right?
Oh, that's super duper crazy. Well, rest easy knowing that there is a plan in place for that so-called dream ship, and all you have to do is just fucking find it, my dude.
Well, wouldn't you know, this is a dreadnought, and they've impounded a ship, and they just want to get rid of it. So happens.
Other than that, Raw and Oz, you have any announcements you would like to make? Muted. You're muted, my dude.
I just want to blow shit up, man. That's all I'm here for.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Do in Chav's new Dream Starch. Okay, I'm done.
Exactly. And then another call out or shout out for another member of our cast, KJ. Is also KJ.cosplay is also a member of another campaign. What's it called? Birch and
Of
Birch and Briar?
Moss.
Lycan and Moss.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
That's the
Of Lycan and Moss.
panel name. The campaign that they're playing is of Brass and Briar.
Yeah.
Here we go. Give them a check out. We love to support the members of our community, and there's several members. Oh, there's 2 members of 2B Dice Adventures in that campaign. Once notably was Scree the rat, and then and KJ Cosplay. So check them out. Give them all of your support, and other than that, we got a lot to deal with at this point in time. So the rest of the adventure at this point in time is 2B Dice. Let's get right into it. We last left off still within the confines of the interrogation chamber, with Killbolt sitting across from Chav, Dub, and Rawl, and Uno. Identity revealed to the 3, but confident that no cameras can observe him for several reasons. The question presented to him by Chav. Chav, would you like to reiterate that question for the audience?
What do you know about the blockade around Nothawin?
Killbolt looks down for the first time, down at the table, instead of keeping eye contact with the group. As you get a sense, especially you, Rawl, as he's considering his words carefully. Not as a means to deceive, but a means to mitigate any extreme reactions that could come from the revelation of the information that he's aware of. I was made aware of the occupation of Nothawin. just days prior to your liaison with Arn Shen. And I am very much aware of your history with Admiral Kevan, being he was your primary flight instructor during your time at the Imperial Flight Academy. I'm sure there are some residual hard feelings left over from your time in service.
There is a blockade around my home planet of Imperial Navy ships. That's bad enough. That blockade is being managed by the equivalent of my high school bully. I have a whole new level of interest in the matter.
I am aware of Admiral Kevan's propensity to treating any other species outside of the human variety with a level of contempt. I will do what I can within my power to mitigate any blowback from that disposition. But I need you to stay focused. Do not engage Admiral Kevan. You do not have the capabilities to do so.
That's what all the flight instructors would think.
I will see what I can do to address the problem that is Admiral Kevan. I'll see if I can get him reassigned or find some other means of dealing with him. But I need you to not draw attention to yourself as a individual Northwind pilot engaging an admiral of the Imperial Navy, admiral of the Imperial Naval Forces, would considerably garner a lot of attention. You already have a Inquisitor on your tail. We don't need the Imperial fleet on your tail as well. Am I understood?
Yes, perfectly. And I advise that you don't give us any more conspicuous heist jobs. It's kind of hard to stay out of the limelight when you're in the black market looking for one shiny gem.
Listen, it was your job to assess the job. I just gave you the opportunity to make money.
Oh, the job was assessed, and we did, in fact, make money. But
yes, and you drew the attention of the public's eye. You bombed civilian populace and killed many city officials. That was not within the parameters of the job, nor was it something I explicitly gave you permission to do.
Kind of hard to do when one of the parameters was to go fly around in some race, steal this gem from under the nose of several crime lords, and then walk away scot-free. Yeah, that's very realistic, don't you think?
I'm going to remind you that Morris Grayson is not a crime lord. Morris Grayson is an Imperial suspected of financial crimes, which is why the ISB was investigating him in the first place. Not a crime lord.
You don't think you clearly don't have all the facts.
So that also being said, based off of a comment that you made just now, are you telling me you give us a job we might be interested in if the next time that we talk, if this conversation in particular, if we had said, nah, didn't quite feel lifting that gem, what else you got? That'd be all copacetic. You'd be okay. Karuska gem in the wind. And
Prior to
if your answer to that question is no, that's not something that I would have been happy with. Don't beat around the fucking bush about giving us a job and give us a fucking job.
you want me to give you more direct missions. You want
Let's
me
just
to be
say,
more direct with you.
If you want to keep us on this leash, you want to keep us doing the things that you need doing, the appropriate amount of discretion would be nice. And if that's the case, don't try to pass off, hey, I just found this job for you, as I want you to do this job. You wanted the job done. We did it. Ain't no job goes 100%. I don't care what the Imperials are shooting you up with to make you such a perfect specimen. Ain't no job goes 100% perfect.
let's just say this was a trial run, yeah? Get our feet wet, the wheels a little greased. Now here comes the fun part.
Indeed. The fun part is, from this day forward, you get to decide your own missions. Whatever you want. Should that mission conflict with the Empire's interests, I'll be sure to reach out and tell you otherwise. You are still in charge of making your own decisions. I need you to be autonomous, not beholden to the Empire. And that means you need to suss out the weak plans, the suspicious jobs, the jobs that smell of subterfuge and don't end up benefiting you in the long run. Weigh the benefits versus the cost and determine what works out for the crew of Core Atlas. And then I will outweigh the benefits and the costs from my end for the Empire.
Tell you what, as for myself, as this is a team and not a conscription, as for myself, you find me some information on the whereabouts of my brother. Now do your dirty work.
I can assure you, we will be doing our best to relocate your brother and bring him back into the fold. He is now considered an anomaly that we cannot afford.
He's a force of nature, that one.
Right. So, rest assured, I will be doing my best to relocate your brother and bringing him back to you. Once he is
In one
acquired, I
piece,
will...
if you please.
Obviously. Once he is acquired, I will contact you and let you know of his whereabouts, whether he be held planetside or I will be bringing him to you aboard my ship.
Right. It's good enough for me, I guess. Captain. What say you?
Fair is fair, I guess.
looks the three of you over. His eyes divert over to the droid behind you. Behind the three of you. He's going to get one more little check in real quick. What check do I want it to be, though?
So many
Computers.
options.
It's going to be a computer's check. It's going to be a formidable check.
2 successes, 1 advantage. 3 successes. Oh, okay, that's the last one. Okay, 3 successes.
And as he looks over the droid, his eyes turn back to the three of you. Quite an impressive droid you have. I'm sure he'll prove to be useful in your missions to come.
What? This
That being
thing
said,
can?
you point to HK, and HK just begins to buzz with excitement as he starts to assume that you're ready to open a can of whoop ass in his mind. Inquiry. Is it time now, masters?
Right, you can stop with that massive shit right there. All right. And no, keep your hands to yourself.
You hear the gears start to whir down as you can hear like you get an audible sense of "Aw."
Machine lingo for all. Love it.
like verbal disappointment coming from from Uno. Killbolt at this moment then stands, straightens out his uniform. Granted, this is he's in a very obvious Imperial officer uniform as opposed to the field agent uniform that you were originally acquainted with.
So medals and stuff on his.
He's got a lot of medals, a lot of accommodations. This dude is decorated,
Okay.
and actually, that's a lie because his entire military career is redacted. Like no one can know the full extent of his career. So he doesn't have a lot of medals on, but he has enough to
Be impressive and be imposing.
to that suits his station essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Like enough.
Good on you for
Go ahead.
specifying, because after hearing, he's decorated with a bunch of medals, I was gonna have Chad be like, all right, what's this one?
Yeah, no, it'd be very minimalistic because he could. None of his military record would be public access, and he can't have medals for something that is not allowed to be publicly accessed. So yeah, it would be very basic. A lot of the medals would have been very public knowledge to you, Chav, as you've seen it time and time before. And he stands up
to grant the ability to tell off an admiral. That's
exactly. Like it's enough medals to like when he walks in the room with an admiral, the admiral knows he's outclassed at that fucking point. Like he may be a fucking officer, but I'm an admiral, but that motherfucker outranks me by merit alone. So yeah, he stands up, straightens out his finely pressed uniform, finely starched, adjusts his little code cylinder on his in the code cylinder pocket, just straight forward. Gentlemen and lady, it has been a pleasure to converse with the crew of Co-Atlas. You have, at this point, been deemed, and as he starts making this string of sentences, you hear the camera's power back on. At this time, your crew has been assessed and found not suspected of smuggling illicit contraband to the Empire, and therefore are being released upon your immediate volition, and you are free to go at this time. Upon departure of this chamber, your manacles will be removed, and you are free to embark on your ship and depart the Dreadnought, the Nullifier, immediately.
Thank you, sir.
So no coffee, right? Not just one
I'm
cuppa.
sure.
Raul, I will bust you in the head so
Look,
hard.
it's been a long day, all right? It's set so much to ask.
20 minutes, we're back on the ship.
As soon as you say that, and as soon as Killbolt finishes his statement, the two agents, Obelisk and Stitch, walk in and flank Killbolt behind him, ready to escort you out. And mind you, I forgot to mention, as the cameras were powering on, Killbolt had also placed his face mask upon his face, concealing his identity from the cameras at the same time. So at this time, yeah, he's fully masked up and identity concealed and flanked by his two subordinates at this time, and are waiting for you to make your way out the door to be unrestrained and escorted back to your ship. Inquiry. Are we free to cause chaos, or are we free to cause chaos in the galaxy?
No chaos. Not yet.
Understood, masters.
Raw leans over to Chav. Is that kind of how I sound like?
Kinda. I mean, not as eloquent, but definitely just as chaotic.
Weird. It's like seeing two of myself. Right. Let's just go before this gets any weirder.
No,
Yes,
I'm gonna
and
make it
with,
weirder. Think about how many times you tell him no, and then think how many times you need to be told no.
Listen.
gentlemen, as much as I love this conversation, I would like to put my ship back together.
Right.
I guess that's
Ship.
fair.
I may have. No, I'm kidding. No, your ship's fine. We'll put it back together in short order.
You get the three of you, followed by Uno, are escorted out of the interrogation chamber. Immediately upon your exit, there are a series of stormtroopers with code cylinders to unlock your manacles, and they immediately remove them with no exchanging of words, as you could probably reasonably assume that they were instructed not to talk to you at all. You are then escorted to your ship with the ISB agents in tow behind you, just to observe that you are not accosted on the way to your ship. Killbolt, maintaining his very eloquent stature, but Obelisk, this very imposing figure of an agent, he's decked out. He's got a lot of firepower on his person. He's got a light repeating blaster in his arms, or is it a light repeating blaster? What is it called? A blaster rifle. There we go. Sorry, blaster rifle in his arms. You can see several different detonative devices on his waist belt, as well as a sidearm. This dude is kitted out for any combat scenario. Stitch, however, decked out in a series of various blades. This dude is very light, very light figured. So there's two distinguishing factors between these two individuals. Obelisk, again, very hulkish built, very broad-shouldered, barrel-chested, militaristic cut, gray hair, brown eyes, light skin, human, like Nat 40. And then Stitch is this very lithe figured middle-aged male with green eyes. Very steady figure. He's got a very steady stride, very steady gait to him. He carries himself with the level of eloquence. Somebody that's been formally trained, probably with the kit that you're seeing on him, probably trained in the field of field trauma response. He's got a field medical kit on him, as well as several blades, probably used for close quarter self-defense, so on and so forth. But yeah, this guy's geared out. You guys reach the ramp finally to the Northwind Chimera. So, you guys reach the gangplank of the Northwind Chimera and begin your ascent into the ship. Not Chat or Killbolt remaining at the base of the gangplank, watching you guys enter.
Do not require this. We'll be watching.
And with that, he turns and begins to walk back towards the gangway that you guys emerged from before the hangar.
Rawls poked at him enough. He's not gonna say anything.
You guys enter the ship. There's a level of apprehension as you guys begin to fire up the engines and begin to ascend as the docking clamps or the docking clamps release your ship with an audible clunk clunk, and your ship lifts off the floor, the hangar floor. It almost feels like a trick as you begin to pitch the nose of the ship towards the opening of the hangar. Like there's a sense that as you go to leave that you're going to get yanked back down. Like, this seems a little too good to be true. But you guys progress out of the hangar effortlessly. Or Chav in the pilot seat, Uno in the co-pilot, interfacing with the Navi computer, and awaiting orders from Chav as they exit the immediate airspace of the dreadnought known as the Nullifier.
We do exactly what they think we're doing, which is still what we're doing. We are beelining for Narshda.
Gotcha. Chav, go ahead and give me a quick perception check as you entered your ship. Simple.
Perception check, you say?
Yeah.
Heart of the dice.
Perfect.
Oh, not bad.
Perfect. As the crew of Coralis and boards the ship, your immediate concern was, oh shit, the spice, is it still here?
Mm-hmm.
And you turn and look where the last known location was of the spice. And sure enough, it's still there.
Okay.
It would be reasonable enough to assume that the equipment that they used to try and suss out any type of contraband was nullified by the ISB and allowed you to pass by their scanners undetected. You guys disembark and approach hyperspace or your hyperspace jump point, and Uno makes his calculations. It's going to be an easy check as he's not rushing, and he has Chav to assist him. Okay, I mean, it's not bad. Just means you don't get any much benefits from it, but yeah, you guys make the jump to hyperspace with your projected route of Nar Shaddaa. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. Galaxy Uber has a great response rate.
That it does.
That being said, this was day 9 into your travel, 2 days into your hyperspace travel. You still have 10 days left.
Correction. It was day 9.
10 days left to...
Caught.
Right. Day 2 into your travel of your jump. Day 9 since the start of the mission. Originally.
Yes.
So, you guys just settle in for a long haul and get situated. Still, Raul, you are dealing with the fallout of your brother's departure, but given a newly honed in point of focus to distract yourself with, until knowing that the ISB is currently searching for your brother. Chav, being plagued with the knowledge that your home world is being assailed by somebody that views you as as a subspecies, knowing that the ISB is taking strides to remove them as a factor, doesn't necessarily put you at ease entirely, but it's some level of comfort. You guys got a long road ahead of yourselves. What this journey holds before us can only be to be diced, as we'll come back and discuss and figure out what transpires after their arrival to Nar Shaddaa. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, on To Be Diced Adventures. We love you. Another short episode, but I got a lot of stuff to plan for the next series that is coming up with the Open Galaxy. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Catch all of our past broadcasts on YouTube and all of our shorts.
Birthday, Tarzan.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah, we didn't
I am
forget
older.
it. We didn't forget.
I am older. Happy May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves. And we will see you next time on To Be Diced. Good night.